Are you dressed as a bee?
Possibly, or it could be like a sort of a good tiger X-ray.
It could be. Either or.
There's an animal on the inside.
So is he not on the outside anymore now you've calmed down?
I mean, I suppose, like, literally there's an animal on the outside, given, you know, that a human being is an animal, but I have calmed down.
You have. Do you think that's being a daddy that's done that to you?
It's definitely part of it, because firstly, I'm knackered the whole time.
But not as knackered as George Clooney, you say, which did make me laugh.
Oh, yeah, he says he cries 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thinking about George Clooney makes me shed a little tear. That jawline!
When we got sent your book, which is called Recovery, and I have to confess, I thought, oh, not another book about recovery. I read it, I couldn't put it down. It is brilliant.
Yeah. Thanks, Jane.
She has. She's been
No, it
waxing
is
lyrical about
absolutely
it.
brilliant because it speaks normally to people. And I read it, and I'm not an addict. She always tells me I'm not an addict. But even in it, I was thinking, oh, I do that, and I do a bit of that. And it's not just about heroin and other drugs and alcohol. It's about all sorts of patterns in our lives, isn't it?
That's a really good way of putting it, Jane. Yeah, that there are patterns that are unhelpful that we get attached to in order to make ourselves feel better, even if it's just patterns of thinking about the control you have in your own life. Like, we talk all the time on your show about, like, getting into negative relationships, doing stuff at work, having the wrong attitude towards your body, trying to make yourself feel better by the way you look, all that sort of stuff. I think all those things exist on the spectrum of addiction. I think addiction is a way that we try and deal with that.
You know what I love about it is my husband's in recovery, I think, about the same sort of time as you. When he went into rehab and we discovered the 12 steps and everything, we're like, oh, my God, what a shame that the whole world can't know about this 12-step programme. And I think that you making it so usable, user-friendly, with loads of swearing, which helped me connect with it more. I think I mean, I just hope that if it could go global, where everyone could see that we're all a little bit addicted to something. Yeah. And I think when you talk about the fact that we're trying to jump away from now, but we're living life now.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we try and distract with phones. I mean, how many people look at their phones 50 times a day? We do, because we think
for those people who maybe don't know what the 12 steps are, in layman terms, but for daytime maybe without the swearing,
yes.
How would you describe it?
I can describe it like this, Andrea. It's like, first of all, if there's anything you're not unhappy about, admit it. Like, I've got a problem.
Okay.
That's the first step, that there's a problem.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, you ignore the problem. You just stay in a relationship even though a relationship's not making you happy, or you stay at a job even though you don't like it, because on some level you don't think you deserve better.
Yeah.
So first thing, admit there's a problem. Second thing, believe that it's possible that your life could be better. One way of doing that is looking at people who have had the problem you've had and see if they've changed their lives. When I met people that had addiction issues like me, or body issues like me, that no longer suffered from it in the same way, that gave me hope. Power is the ability to affect change. So first, admit there's a problem. 2, believe it's possible to change. 3, accept that you won't be able to do that change on your own. You'll need help. Be willing to accept help. Those are the first 3 steps. So it's just really a pattern of thinking. It's not, I don't think that we choose between having a programme and not having a programme. We've all of us got a programme. We've got the programme of our family, the programme of our childhood, the programme of our culture, the programme of our time. And many of those programmes don't make us feel good about who we are. This is a programme that gives us a chance to change that.
So talking about... you mentioned there your childhood, and that's a very big part of the book, and a big part, really, about your addiction, because it sort of started off as chocolate, didn't it?
It did, actually, because I think that when I was a little kid and I felt a bit insecure and a bit lost and, to put it frankly, worthless, that one of the things that made me feel good was chocolate. Like, it just gave me a little bit of a buzz and I liked it, you know, so I wasn't able to control it. I kept eating it all the time. Too much Penguin biscuits. First the blue, then the yellow, then the red. Couldn't leave them alone, scraping their little guts out. Still like it now with a Twix.
I used to do that, all the way around and then teeth like that, yeah.
There's something in that, Nadia.
It soothed a lot of my pain, and I had to work very hard not to go to it.
Could have been worse, couldn't it, though?
It was on occasion. It did move on from
Out of all your addictions, your alcohol, drug and your sex addiction, which one did you find it hard to deal with?
Sex can be tricky because if you're a heterosexual man, then a lot of the time that behaviour is encouraged and lionised. People don't like tell you that it's a problem. You don't perhaps think about the impact it's having on women if it's not having an obvious impact to you. So that can be a tricky one. The forms of addiction that are socially endorsed can be difficult to get rid of. At least if you're a smackhead and a crackhead, people will say, you know, get out of my doorway or you're nicked.
Right, yeah.
You know what? So many people don't believe in sex addiction, don't they? But my husband said when he was in rehab, the sex addicts used to break his heart because they would just be in such a state. But I think even now, most people in this room would probably go, yeah, come on, you just love loads of sex.
That's right, because there's like loving sex. There's nothing wrong with loving sex, but and people think that they're using it as an excuse for bad behaviour. And like I think probably you do use it as an excuse for bad behaviour. But I use being a drug addict as an excuse for bad behaviour. To tell you the truth, I think addiction is something that you're doing, you want to stop it, and you can't. And a lot of people that have had addictions with chemicals and substances, when they stop, the sex gets a little bit out of control. It did for me.
Or food or exercise.
Yeah, anything. You can put it anywhere.